Hi, welcome back to Golf Training Hacks. In this video, we want to give you some basic exercises that are going to help you with your shot making consistency. What's shot making consistency all about? Well, it's about getting the club head back to impact in a consistent manner. And to do that, we look to spine angles first. You need to keep your spine angles consistent and stable throughout the swing. You know, there are a lot of forces that play against that in the golf swing. I mean, there are rotational, compressive, and shearing forces that are always trying to pull your spine angle offline or off the positions they need to hit. That's going to create variability in your swing, and if you have a high degree of variability or movement in your swing from your backswing into your downswing, it's going to be really tough to get back to impact in the position you want or the position you started. Now, to help us keep our spine fluid and stable throughout the swing, we look to isometric strength. Now, isometric strength or isometric contractions do several things. First, an isometric contraction is a stabilizing force for your joints. So if you can improve your isometric strength, you can stabilize your spine more effectively during the golf swing. The second thing that isometric strength does, it performs a transitional function. So in every change of direction, there is an isometric contraction that facilitates the change of direction. The stronger the isometric contraction, the more isometric strength you have, the quicker and more effective the change of direction will be. The third thing an isometric contraction will do is it helps store energy into your tendons. And the elastic energy that's stored in your tendons is where you get that effortless power from the stretch reflex that makes that swing look so fluid and effortless and increases distance. That's why isometric strength is so important. It stabilizes your joints, it is a transitional function, and then it puts elastic energy into your tendons. But before we get to the exercises, let's just go over what are the spine angles we're talking about. So the first and most important spine angle is a neutral spine. Now, a neutral spine is the position that your spine is best able to buffer forces, and there are a lot of force in the golf swing, as we know. So a neutral spine has some extension in your lower back, your lumbar spine, some flexion in your upper back, which is your T-spine, and then some extension in your cervical spine. So at address, what we're going to do is hip hinge back a bit, belt buckle to impact or to the ball. I have my neutral spine position that's tilted a little bit forward. So that's the first spine angle we're looking at. From the front, I set my neutral spine, I hip hinge back, my belt buckle's to the ball. Now I'm going to tilt my spine a little bit away from the target. Now this spine angle, this slight tilt, stays from the backswing into the downswing until you get closer to impact, and then the spine angle is going to tilt a little bit further away from the target. So those are the spine angles we want to keep, and isometric strength is going to help us do that. So in these series of exercises, we're going to be working on resisting force using isometric strength, because we want to keep our spine angle stable throughout the swing, and to do that we have to resist all those forces that are playing against us in that swing, and to do that we need to improve our isometric strength. So in these basic exercises, we're going to work on improving our ability to resist, standing up out of impact. So we want to be able to hold this position, and you want to be able to hold this neutral spine throughout your swing. So the first exercise we're going to do, a pulley row isometric, or you can do it in reps. Set my neutral spine, going to hip hinge back. Now I'm in that forward tilted address position, and I can either hold these for a count, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. If there was even more tension on this, I could hold it like this for the count, or I can just do repetitions. What I don't want you guys to do is use this kind of motion to be pulling back, or when you're here, there shouldn't be any kind of movement. When you're here, there shouldn't be any kind of movement. So you should be able to step into this, neutral spine, hip hinge back, lean forward, and hold it for a count. It's up to you what the count is. If you want to do repetitions, that's fine, but you just don't want any movement in your back this way or that way. Carrying weights is really effective in building isometric strength. It's also building work capacity as well. So there are farmer's carries, where you'd have 2 dumbbells this way. There's a suitcase carry, you have a dumbbell here and you're resisting this. But we're going to do a front carry in a variety of ways. So you can grab a dumbbell or a kettlebell, and all you want to do is you want to hold the kettlebell here for time, or I have a step set up here. You could step up for either reps or time. And what you don't want is that kind of forward motion, right? You're trying to stay erect as you're stepping up. Carries are a great way to begin to build work capacity, but also a great way to begin to build isometric strength in your torso so that you can keep that stable spine throughout the swing and resist all those forces that are playing against it. Another great basic exercise is a plank. At Inner Strength Sports Conditioning and Golf Training Hacks, we like to do push-up planks because it gets your shoulders in a good position as well. So one thing I want to talk about in terms, even when you're doing a push-up. So when you're doing a push-up, what you want is your fingers kind of splayed out, and you're creating a bit of an arch. So my fingers are splayed out, and I have an arch here. Okay, so I have this position with my hands, and then before I load these shoulders with actually getting up on them, I'm going to screw my shoulders into a much better position by turning the inside of my elbow towards you. So I splay my fingers, put a little arch in my hands, kind of like pawing the ground, and then I am going to turn my elbows towards you, and then I'm in a good push-up position. But that's also the position that we're going to use for a plank. My fingers are splayed out. I put a little arch in my hand. I'm going to turn my elbows that way, the inside of my elbows that way. So I'm screwing my shoulders and getting them very organized. Now I'm going to put this back, and I want to keep my back in that neutral position. And that's a push-up plank. So what you don't want is dropping like this. You don't want to be up like this. You want to be in this position where you're in a neutral spine. Your shoulders are nice and organized. That's a great exercise for building isometric strength. Okay guys, so there are a few basic exercises that you can use to build some isometric strength so that you can begin to resist the forces in the golf swing, so you can keep those spine angles in a stable, neutral position throughout the swing and improve your consistency at impact. So thanks for watching.